I'm about to read to you Disney's Toy Story. Andy is a little boy who loves all of his toys. Woody the cowboy is his favorite, but he plays with every one of them. His family is getting ready to move, but Andy's birthday is next week, so his mom decides to have a party. All of the toys were in panic. They wanted to know what new toys Andy would get for his birthday. Woody called an urgent meeting and organized a squad to get all the details of the party. When they thought it was all over, Andy's mom took out a very large gift, but a child blocked their view. None of the soldiers could see what it was. Andy left his new toy on the bed. It was a Space Ranger, the new Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear claimed that in addition to having a laser, he could fly. He was convinced that he was a real Space Ranger, as much as Woody tried to explain to him that he was just a toy. Later, Woody heard that Andy's mom was taking him to Pizza Planet, but he could only bring one toy. Woody knew that Andy would take Buzz, and overcome with jealousy, he decided to play a joke. He told Buzz that someone was a danger, and while the Space Ranger tried to help, Woody accidentally pushed him. Buzz fell through the window into the garden of Sid, a boy who likes to mutilate and blow up toys. Wood thought he had gotten his way, but the other toys knew that he had intentionally pushed the Space Ranger, and they were very upset. Andy entered the room looking for Buzz, but since he did not find him anywhere, he decided to take Woody. Although the other toys tried to help Buzz, they couldn't. Fortunately, Buzz Lightyear was safe and climbing out of the bushes just as Andy's car was leaving for Pizza Planet. He ran to catch up with but because he was very angry with Woody, since Buzz was very clever, he managed to get into the car. Andy's mom stopped for gas, and Woody thought about how he convince others that what happened to Buzz had been an accident. Suddenly, Buzz got into the car. Woody was happy to see that Buzz was safe, but Buzz was not so happy with Woody. They started to fight and fell out of the vehicle. They didn't notice that Andy, his mom, and his sister Molly were going to Pizza Planet without them. Now Woody was very upset because they were lost and Andy was moving in 2 days. He didn't know how to get back home. Woody kept trying to explain to Buzz that he was just a toy. Then Woody saw a Pizza Planet van. He couldn't go back without Buzz, so he played along and told him what to take would take him to a place where he could find a spaceship. Woody and Buzz got into the van, and when they finally arrived at the restaurant, they were very surprised by what they saw. Woody was only thinking about how to find Annie, but Buzz was convinced that all was space station, and the first thing he did was find a ship. Buzz thought the machine of alien dolls was a spaceship. When Woody realized where Buzz was, he immediately went to rescue him. The cowboy was about to get him out, but a boy approached the machine. It was Sid. Woody couldn't let Sid take the Space Ranger, so he held on to him, and they were both captured by the evil boy. Sid put two of them in his backpack and took them to his house. When they got there, they saw him take his sister doll and swap her head with a plaid. Woody was horrified. He had asked a toy that looked friendly if there was any way out, but he discovered with horror that it was another mutant toy. Later, Sid left the door of his room open. Woody and Buzz made the way out, but they found a surprise Scud, Sid's mascot, an evil destructive dog, but ran through a room where he saw a television that announced the incredible toy Buzz Lightyear. The Space Ranger was very sad because he finally understood that he was just a toy. Woody found Buzz and took him to Sid's room where there was a window that led directly to Andy's house. Woody asked his friends for help, tossing a strand of Christmas lights to use as a rope so they could escape. But they were still angry because he had pushed Buzz out the window. Desperate, Woody tried to convince his friends that Buzz was trapped there with him, but they didn't believe him. Then everyone heard Sid coming back to his room and hid. Woody tried to help Buzz, but he didn't move. Sid was carrying a box in his hands. It was a very big rocket, and he was excited to blow up something up. He looked for the cowboy, but then he saw Buzz on the floor and tied him to the rocket. Unfortunately for Sid, it began to rain, and he had postponed until the morning. In the morning, Woody asked Buzz for help, but he did not answer. He kept asking why Andy wanted him. Woody said, in that house there is a child who thinks that you are the best, not because you are a space ranger, but because you are a toy. His toy, then Buzz regained his strength and set out to rescue Woody. He pushed the toolbox that held Woody, but the box fell to the floor and woke up Sid. Woody had to do something to save his friends, so he asked for help from the other toys and began to organize a plan of attack. Woody indicated the places they had to cover. Some would take care of Scud, and then others would hide in the yard and wait for Woody's signal. When Sid was about to light the rocket, Woody turned to look at him straight in the eyes and said, "You must treat your toys well, then they like to be burned or mutilated and much less exploded." Then all the toys came out of their hiding place. When he saw that his toys could talk and move, Sid ran into the house crying in terror. The toys had the battle and they would finally be treated with respect. Woody was happy he had helped his new friends and Buzz. Then they heard Andy's mom, Molly Andy, say goodbye to the house. They could still make it home, but as they tried to leave, Buzz got stuck in the fence. He asked Woody to leave without him, but Woody couldn't leave his friend behind, so he helped him. They both ran behind the car. Woody and Buzz lost the car, but the moving truck was right behind it. They ran after the truck, but were chased by Scud. The evil dog bit Woody's foot. The Space Ranger jumped on Scud's head to save his friend. Woody opened the truck and pulled RC out of a box to help Buzz, but his friends thought he was getting rid of RC and they threw him out of the truck. RC and Buzz picked Woody up, and Andy's toys finally understood that Woody was trying to rescue Buzz. They went down the ramp of the truck to get them, but RC's battery ran out. Then Woody had a great idea, but still had the rocket that Sid had attached to his body. So Woody lit it to infinity and beyond, they shouted. They let go of the rocket, and Woody shouted happily, "Buzz, you're flying." But Buzz replied, "This isn't flying, this is falling in style." Suddenly, they passed the truck, and Woody was frightened. What he didn't know was that Buzz had not targeted the truck, but Andy's car. Woody and Buzz landed in the car right next to Andy in his toy box. He immediately turned around and saw with surprise that his favorite toys were there. He told his mother that he had found them right where he left them. Woody and Buzz were happy too. Days passed and finally Christmas came. Our friends were busy in another mission. What will Andy get for Christmas?" Buzz asked the cowboy. "What could Andy get that would be worse than you?" Woody replied. Suddenly they heard a loud sound. Woof, woof. Andy had received the puppy. Our friends were in for a long journey of joy and fun in infinity and beyond.